In this series, we analyze residential properties using the owner framework. Through our experience in real estate, we aim to share clear and practical insights that help you make more informed decisions. The biggest mistake first-time buyers make is not choosing the wrong flat, it's choosing the wrong type of property. And the truth is, standalone, gated community, high-rise, villa. None of them are wrong. They simply suit different lifestyles, different priorities, and different preferences. Before you decide where to buy, you must first understand what you're buying. In this video series, we're going to break down 5 major residential property types and evaluate them using one simple framework. Not emotionally, not based on trends, but structurally. Let's build that framework first. It's called owner. Real estate is not black and white, it's a series of trade-offs. So don't watch this video looking for the best property type. Watch it looking for the one that fits you the best. Now, once you understand what a property type is, the next question becomes, how do we evaluate it objectively? That's where owner comes in. Each letter represents one dimension of decision making. Let's begin with the first one. O. Ownership of land. When you buy a residential property, you're not just buying the constructed structure, you're also buying a proportionate share of the land beneath it. That share is your ownership. Why does this matter? Because construction depreciates over time. Land is the component that typically appreciates. Let's simplify this. Imagine a 500 square yard plot with 10 equal flats built on it. Each flat would carry roughly 50 square yards of land share. If flat sizes differ, the land share is calculated proportionately. So in simple terms, ownership is your stake in the land beneath the structure. And in real estate, long-term strength usually comes from the land beneath you, not just the walls around you. So when you evaluate a flat, don't just look at carpet area or built-up size. Look at the land share. That number often tells you more about the foundation of your investment than interior finishes ever will. Ownership defines your base. W. Wealth. But real estate is not only about what you legally own, it is also about what your investment delivers. In simple terms, what are you paying per square foot? Let's compare. Imagine purchasing a 2,000 square foot flat for 2 crore rupees. That's 10,000 rupees per square foot. Now compare it to a newly constructed 2,000 square foot flat priced at 2.5 crore rupees. That's 12,500 rupees per square foot. The usable area is identical. The function of the home is identical. The difference lies in age, perception, and remaining structural life. But from a pure space to capital perspective, there is a 2,500 rupees per square foot variation. So under wealth, the question becomes, what exactly are you paying the premium for? Clarity in numbers creates financial confidence. Wealth tells you what your money converts into. N. Neighborhood. But a home is not just a financial instrument. It is a lived experience. This is where lifestyle and investment begin to separate. Ownership defines what you hold. Wealth evaluates what you pay. Neighborhood defines how you live every single day. It is not just about location, it is about the social ecosystem you become part of. Some communities are highly interactive, celebrations, gatherings, shared spaces. Others are quieter, more private, more contained. The right neighborhood depends on your personality. Do you prefer social engagement or independent living? Because a home is not experienced only within 4 walls, it is shaped by the environment around it. The right property fits your budget. The right neighborhood fits your life. E. Ease ownership also comes with responsibility. After evaluating ownership, wealth, and neighborhood, we must assess how easy the property is to manage. Under ease, we look at operational comfort, security, maintenance coordination, access to domestic help, and day-to-day support systems. In a large gated community, many services are systemized and centrally managed, though often at a higher maintenance cost. In a standalone apartment, you may need to coordinate services individually, but expenses may be comparatively lower. So under ease, we evaluate the level of involvement required from the owner, because long-term satisfaction is shaped not only by value, but also by convenience. R. Rental yield. Real estate can be evaluated not only for ownership and lifestyle, but also as an income-generating asset. Rental yield is the annual rental income expressed as a percentage of the purchase value. different property types perform differently in the rental market. In some locations, a gated community apartment may command stronger rental demand due to infrastructure and positioning. On the other hand, a standalone property purchased at a lower entry price may deliver a stable yield relative to capital deployed. So under rental, we compare how efficiently a property converts capital into periodic income. Because beyond appreciation, income performance becomes a measurable indicator of financial efficiency. So now we have the owner framework. But a framework only matters when we apply it. In the second part of this series, we will explore standalone apartments using the same owner framework, and you might be surprised by the dynamics. If you found this helpful and want more such insights, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel and follow us on YouTube and Instagram for more.